We close on the house this week. It's so crazy how fast this process went, but it's a clear reflection of all the Aries energy and how it was constantly pushing and moving ahead, whether we were ready or not. It was a 23-day process from start to finish, from the day we saw the house to the day it closed. 23 days total, which feels extremely fast. I'm glad the whirlwind is over and that things are settling. I hope the Aries whirlwind was kind to you, especially if Aries energy isn't your favorite or it's something that you aren't used to. This week mellows out a lot. I said last week that we have one more really agitating week and then we're out of the woods. This is the out of the woods week, so let's get into the forecast and see what's cooking. As far as I'm concerned, we've made it through the thick of it. Ever since Saturn ingressed into Aries, there's been this mounting pressure there. And then all the Aries transits happened, which activated that area of life in a really big, dramatic, fiery way. But this week begins the true descent, the come down from all the heightened cardinal fire energy. The realm of Aries is going to start cooling down, and we're actually going to be shifting our focus entirely to another area of life. There are no more aspects being made to Saturn for the time being, so we are getting a break. Saturn is going to be in Aries for a while, though. I think we all know that. But at least all these other personal planets have gone. They're done. They're over it. Mars is still kicking it a little bit, but it's getting near the end. There's maybe one aspect this week that pertains to Aries, and it's not until the very end of the week. It does involve Mars, but it's not super major. It's actually a really nice way to close out everything we've been working through over the last few weeks. But as you know, we go in order around here, so we'll get to that in a minute. The first aspect we're going to be dealing with is one that started to brew at the end of last week, and that's the Sun sextile Jupiter. It peaks today, Sunday, May 10th, and it'll wane as the week continues. Last week, Jupiter was catching hell from Mars. This week, it's nothing but sunshine, support, and rainbows for Jupiter. The Sun is in Taurus, lest we forget. I know it doesn't feel like Taurus season. It doesn't seem that way because it's not been super cute or grounded or indulgent because all of the Aries energy, but we're getting there. This week changes that a bit. The Sun's sextile with Jupiter is about turning our consciousness and awareness to the energy and goodness that Jupiter has been trying to cultivate. We need to start seeing ourselves in what's happening. We have to come back to center and understand that at its core, Jupiter's exalted nature is about personal growth right now. This week, we need to do something that lights up the realm of Cancer and Taurus and do it in a way that allows us to further the progression of self, of identity, or even just to reconnect with who we are, to recenter ourselves. Whether it's big or small, doesn't matter. It's about securing identity and securing goodness that makes us feel more like ourselves than we have in a while. Do something cute for yourself at the start of the week. If you're listening in real time and it's Sunday, I want you to indulge, relax, have a good time. Do your favorite thing, eat your favorite food, and celebrate whatever it is you personally feel like celebrating. If you want to get really technical, you can look at the houses of Cancer and Taurus to see how this little indulgent celebration may come together. But overall, don't overthink it. Just have a really nice Sunday. You deserve it. We all deserve it after going through the Aries shitstorm the last few weeks. Take Sunday and even Monday a little slow. Before the Aries shitstorm hit, I was saying that we needed to savor what was happening. We're back to that. Savor your Sunday and maybe even a little bit of your Monday. Just as this aspect between the Sun and Jupiter is waning, another one kicks in. Mercury will be making a sextile with Jupiter midweek. Mercury has been in Taurus for a little over a week now, so we should be fully immersed in taking things slower and allowing ourselves time to be deliberate and move at a pace that feels a lot more comfortable rather than being in survival mode in full gear at all times. This sextile with Mercury and Jupiter is going to pick up where the Sun left off. We're going to be focused on the goodness and synergy that these two areas of life have to give. Mercury's abilities will be bolstered by Jupiter, which means marketing, communication, the mental realm, and the ability to problem solve will gain some much needed traction and beneficence. we'll be seeing nice connections between the realms of Cancer and Taurus that allow us to embrace the goodness that has been brewing. Because remember, sextiles are harmonic, but they're not like trines where it's like big and bad. Sextiles are flowy, they're chill, which goes really, really well with all this Taurus energy and this Jupiter in Cancer. So allow these two areas of life to play off of each other, to inform each other, and to just allow you to feel good for a minute. It's not like last week when Mars was squaring Jupiter and everything had this twinge of haste around it. I'll tell you what, I was hell-bent on getting so much done for absolutely no reason other than I felt that moving fast and getting things done was the right thing to do. It was the only way. But this week is going to be different, and I already feel that. This week is about moving slow and savoring the progress, the process, the success, or even just where we're at right now, stopping to look around and to see that where we're at is totally fine. It's great. It's acceptable. We don't need to be pushing so hard. That's going to be one of the best things about this week. We don't need to move a mile a minute. We just need to move in a direction that keeps us stable and with our growth in mind. Midweek is a good time to assess your habits and routines within the realm of Taurus and to see how the realm of Cancer can help you dig a little deeper and expand upon those. Not in a way that feels intense or hasty or that needs to happen immediately, but in a way that feels fluid and natural. Natural is a word that I love for Taurus, not just because of the earthy signification, but also because things are taking their natural time. They're running their natural course. So don't feel the need to push, just move in a way that feels fluid and natural. The sextile between Mercury and Jupiter is about the natural progression of things, not the forced progress that we were feeling being thrust upon us over the last few weeks. If something feels forced or unnatural midweek, give it a second glance, back off of it for a minute, make sure it's something you actually want and subscribe to. These sextiles to Jupiter are about the realm of Taurus being on the same page as the realm of Cancer. They're a chance to realign ourselves and our minds after being pushed to make so much progress in a really unnatural way or in a way that didn't feel super awesome. Right after the sextile between Mercury and Jupiter, there's a Mercury Cazimi. This means that the Sun and Mercury will be conjunct in Taurus. Let's go over what a Cazimi is just for a refresher. Cazimis are a time when a planet is right at the heart of the Sun. It's protected and bolstered by the Sun itself. It's like the planet is able to speak to the heart, the king, and its agenda is taken a lot more seriously. This Cazimi happens on Thursday, May 14th, so around that time, we're going to be seeing a real change of pace. We might finally let out a sigh of relief, embrace stillness, or just fully accept that we don't need to push as hard as we thought we did or as we've been. The Cazimi will highlight our need and desire for strong and steady communication within the realm of Taurus. We're looking for ways to become more rooted, and those ideas may come around this time. The decisions we make should be ones that we feel really confident about and that we've given a good deal of thought. Our minds will be illuminated with ideas around security and indulgence. So again, take some time to savor how you've been feeling, to really process what you've been feeling, savor your progress, where you're at in the journey. There's no need to rush and there's no clock to run against. And that's part of what this Cazimi will show us, that it's just okay to relax. The Cazimi may also bring good news within the realm of Taurus. Jupiter's energy will still be in play with both the Sun and Mercury at the time of the Cazimi, so you can likely expect good news or forward movement within these areas of life. This can be something more tangible like closing on your house and the feeling of relief of finally being able to move in. Or it can be more mental and speak to the relief of seeing your current situation from a new perspective and allowing yourself more time and grace before making a life-altering choice. It all depends on where these planets fall for you and what natal placements you got going on. My weekly horoscopes go a little more in depth with that. But overall, it's safe to say that this Cazimi will be leaning towards benefic energy. Whether it's good news or literal progress, we can expect some benefic goodness around the time of the Cazimi, and even before it happens, due to the aspects with Jupiter. This week is going to be the first time we really see all of Jupiter's growing pains come to fruition. we're seeing them culminate in something bigger than just growing pains and the pain of having to stretch and do more and be more, or something abstract in a weird way that's like, well, I guess that was growth, but it still kind of hurts. No, this is going to be us embracing whatever it is that comes to life around the Cazimi, because it's going to be a well-deserved moment of relief or clarity. There's one other big thing that happens in Taurus, and that's the new moon. On Saturday, there will be a new moon in Taurus, and this is going to keep the good times going in this area of life. The Cazimi is going to be the deeper realizations or the good news that we desperately needed, and then the new moon will set the stage for us to begin again and implement what the Cazimi and all those Jupiter aspects handed us. I'll have more specifics on the new moon and how we're meant to begin again in my lunar horoscopes, but just know that the new moon is riding off of the benefic energy leading up to it. I mentioned that there was one tiny little aspect happening in Aries this week. The day of the new moon, Saturday, May 16th, there will be a conjunction between Mars and Chiron in Aries. I'm going to keep saying this until Chiron leaves Aries for good, but it's old hat, it's old news, we're over it. Mars's energy being right there with Chiron at the end of the week is the perfect kind of chef's kiss opportunity to cut out bitterness, cut out old feelings, stagnant anger, or anything that we've been carrying for far too long. Chiron's cycle in Aries started in 2019, and we're getting close to the end. All this recent Aries energy and transit should have shown us something that needed mended, changed, or just fully released. Mars will be present and up to the task. If you aren't ready to release what needs release, then you can expect to have a hard time with patience, relaxing, and indulgence around the time of the new moon. If you're having trouble immersing yourself in something good or seeing the potential in something you're putting a lot of effort into, then you need to examine what it is that's holding you back and cut it out. If this was early on in the journey with Chiron and Aries, I would say that Mars would be doing a lot more agitation than remediation. But we know the wound, and we know what needs to be released, so let Mars do its job and free up some space. For me personally, I know this is manifesting as me severing myself from my old life and beginning again and starting new. As some of you have been with me for a really long time and you know the intimate details of my life and how I went through a divorce and flipped my whole life upside down. And it's crazy because the time that we went to see this new house, the old house that I had was finally being sold at the same time, and there's no way that that could have happened. I had no part in that. So it was this weird sort of convergence, but also divergence of old life and new life, and I know Mars and Chiron for me is letting that go, releasing that, and I'm getting to start fresh. So allow the Mars and Chiron conjunction to do the same for you. Allow it to sever something, to let you release something that you've been hanging on to, and move into the goodness of the new moon in Taurus. This is a majorly benefic week. We have one small aspect in Aries, and the rest is all indulgence, all good news, taking it slow and allowing ourselves to catch our breath. If you're putting this forecast over your own chart, then the realms of Cancer and Taurus will be the major focal points. Take the week slow, not because you're prone to being hasty, but because you deserve it and you're savoring where you're at right now. Thank you for tuning into this week's forecast. If you want a more detailed look at what this week's astro weather holds for you personally, go to my website, moonmattersastrology.com, and sign up to receive my zine. You can also find me on Patreon by searching for Moon Matters. The best way to keep up to date with my work or to book a reading with me is to sign up for my mailing list on my website. I'll meet you back here next week, but until next time, later days.